flute guy.
Yeah. Or just the flute.
Flute guy.
I always forget his name.
Jeff Littell.
Jeff
Ian
Littell.
Anderson? Oh.
I said no. I got that part. I get his real name, not his stage name.
Okay.
Welcome to Bitters Week. This is like Shark Week, but without sharks and a lot more bitters.
A lot of bite.
Yep, it's got a lot of bite. I like it.
Yeah, that's good.
You're a genius. You need to tell me this before this. I went through
did
the
that.
whole thing.
He did.
He did.
You're the only one that didn't catch it before
He
the
was
show.
trying to kiss
That's
me.
why I have to repeat myself.
I
all the
wasn't
time.
trying.
How long do you want me to stick my tongue in your mouth or whatever you were saying?
That was awkward.
In no way, shape, or form was I saying
That was
that.
really weird, I gotta say.
I know.
You guys are kind of related.
Do you want to savor my tongue? It's completely
That's no way related to what he said.
different.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So,
Okay.
anyway, what we're gonna do is the whole week we're gonna do something with bitters, and there's a few reasons. First off, I've been meaning to do this for like a year.
Oh, nice.
Second off, it was really
Welcome
the same
to-
reason.
2012.
Right. And, well, no, I posted, like, we have the photo over there of all my bitters, and I took a picture of it, and people were like, dude, I don't even know what you would use those for. Like, so I was like, this is a travesty. People don't know what they should be using bitters for, and we have a cocktail show. That means if somebody watched this show and they don't know what bitters are, we didn't do something right.
So that's not one of those things that you typically think of as a home drinker. You don't think of bitters as like, you think that's a specialty bar, they're doing something crazy.
Like a
Actually,
cocktail
generally, when
Like a
people
cocktail
think bitters,
bar.
especially in the U.S., they think of this stuff.
Angostura bitters, that one's it's getting a little, the thingy isn't, that's just a knife.
And
It should look,
moving it.
yeah, I know. It should look like this.
Use of force.
It's got this overwrapped little thing on it, and I've heard different stories. I don't even know if they put a story in here. Like one of them was the person who bought the bottles when they were designing this is not the same person that bought the labels, and then they put them together. It was too big. They're like, oh, whatever. We're just gonna ship it. We can't
Roll
afford
with
to roll with it. Right? That's I don't know. It's
Is that how like Pringles ended up making potato chips because like they bought all the tennis cans and like potatoes showed up and they're like, fuck it,
You can't serve these on the court.
we'll make potato chips.
Could it be? I got some notes here too.
Guess you never know.
I don't know the history of potato chips, but if we had a potato, we need a potato chip podcast. Actually, that'd be a good idea. All reviewing potato chips.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would actually be
Ever
really
have
good.
ketchup chips?
Oh, those are awful.
It's a main thing. I think.
Oh no, it's awful.
Have you
Well,
had
it's a main thing
garlic
if you like
bread
them.
chips?
I haven't.
Those are weird.
Have you had crab chips?
We're in the crowd.
No.
We're in the chip show.
Wow.
We just jumped right in. We'll shift gear.
Bitters.
So, bitters. There's a couple different types of bitters. I've got a whole slew of them. Austin Drakes carries a crap load, so some of these I've either taken from the store or like I just like bought them in decrement inventory, or some of them had leaks in them. I have one back here that had a crack in it, so I just keep them. I'm not going to ship them because they're broken, but they're still good bitters. So, and bitters are mainly some high proof alcohol. Here's a good example of a bitter that most people would know. It's called premium quality pure vanilla extract. That's the same thing as a bitter. It's alcohol and some sort of extracted flavor. In this case, it's vanilla.
Wow.
Right? So you take vanilla, you do your deal, you extract all the goodness, and you put it in alcohol so it lasts for flavor. That's in the way. And you get vanilla extract. That's, let's see, how much alcohol is in this one? So this guy right here is, I know it's on here because I had looked at one point, but that's a weird.
It's kosher too. Yeah.
I can't.
35% alcohol.
Dude.
Yeah,
Oh yeah! These are the words.
I got like
The
90
words.
percentile in scanning on the asthma.
I didn't even think it would be there. Normally they kind of hide them around.
They do, yeah.
So 35% alcohol. That means if you added 5 more, this is actually about the same as a flavored vodka.
Yeah.
Right.
Is that something anybody can buy?
Yeah, you can buy this at the store. Nobody's going to arrest you, right?
So
The trick is it's called non-potable, which means when you take these bitters, you could get drunk if you finish this bitter. The problem
what I'm
is
thinking.
you're probably going to die or heave. Because
Sure.
bitters are made to be bitter. One primary reason is because you're not supposed to sell alcohol in small bottles like this that can make people drunk. And when they go through and they get them certified, because I've looked at this, I want to be able to make my own bitter, is if it's not bitter enough, then you're not you won't get through the, whoever it is, FD.
So is it a bitterness scale?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, there's whatever they did. I don't know how. Basically, I think it's like they could taste it, and if it tastes sweet to you, I'm sure there's one person out there that's like, oh, these things are super sweet. But most average humans would not look at this. Now, I don't know. Vanilla extract obviously is going to be sweeter, I think.
Sure.
But these are not. And if you don't get that certification, you can still make bitters. Another example of a bitter, Campari.
Okay.
Fernet Branca, right? They're bottled bitters, large bottles, and they're just called spirits or alcohol. So if you put this in a big one,
booze, yeah.
and then you can also, there's Bitter End or Bitter Truth, or one of those guys doesn't have the certification because they make their own alcohol. So they just, you just have to buy it. I can't sell them.
Right.
Because I can only sell these because they're non-potable. From an aromatic standpoint, we have, obviously, like you said, Angostura, you have the Fee Brothers, and when you talk to certain people that are hardcore into bitters, that make their own bitters, they don't really care for Angostura for the most part. I don't know about this one, because there's a lot of crazy flavors like red coloring and food coloring and artificial flavors and natural flavors, and I don't know if this one even says, but they may or may not have alcohol. Some of them will.
This one is 45% alcohol.
Right.
Angostura. Yeah.
So a lot of the Fee Brothers are non-alcohol. They use glycerin or something like that, and a bunch of other chemicals. So some people, hardcore bitter people, are like, no.
Because this chemical is not a bitter.
Right. It's not. It doesn't go through the hard work, which means they're also cheaper. So you're looking at like $12 instead of. I don't know. These are $12. These are probably like $8, $7, something.
Because Angostura is that.
Right. So then you have the bittermans. You jump up the scale and you have the scrappies. We sell scrappies for like 17. Most people sell them for 25. Right. I don't really know why they sell them for 25 because
Is that handwritten?
That's a nice,
Oh, wait.
round number.
That might be. So all of these are probably going to be considered, again, besides the fee, are small batch. Oh, well, these guys don't count because
No,
they're
that's
huge.
large batch, yeah.
But they're small batch, which means somebody probably produces all of these and puts them in the bottles, labels them themselves, wraps the stuff on them, and it's good to go. So it's a painful process. They're made in small batches. Sometimes you get seasonal, sometimes you get regionals, like this is the New England Spice Cranberry. You're supposed to only be able to buy this in New England. I can buy it in New England because I live here, but if you went to a brick and mortar store, typically this one, and then there's the New Orleans Coffee Bitters, it's only supposed to be in Louisiana, this one's only supposed to be in New England. However, and that's because the product within here is from Louisiana and the product in here is from New England. So their idea is, we'll keep it centralized, it's regional because it fits the right region. I can sell them regardless because we're a store and you sell online. We don't care for regions. I would have probably went with like 2 dashes instead of 30. The aromatics, so the Angostura, the Fee Brothers aromatics, I don't have a Scrappy's Bitters aromatics here. Bitterman's doesn't have an aromatics. I have the Hella Bitters aromatics. Aromatics pair well with whiskeys, brandies, a lot of the aged spirits, vermouth, things that have robust ingredients, and you know, most cocktails that people call classic cocktails tend to have aromatics or call for them. That doesn't mean you can only use aromatics. It just means that's what they typically have. These aromatics have a very strong clove flavor. You want to try those? You like cloves, right? Where the Angostura is a little more bitter, a little more like it has a, I don't know,
That's
like a
very
bite to it, right?
I've drank like you get bitters and small. They used to
It's
drink
like
it in the
reminds me of-
stomach or digestive.
Exactly. It's a medical thing back in the day.
Yeah.
We don't use it for medical purposes that much anymore.
It's probably because it had booze in it, and
But,
booze
yeah.
made everything better.
Liam uses, we usually use like an orange bitter on a lime piece, which is what Curtis taught us to get rid of the hiccups. So you
remember
drip a
he was
little
doing
and
that,
you
like,
bite it and your hiccups go away. It works. I don't understand the science behind it, but it works. The citrus, which are specifically like Regan's, these guys came out with, Angostura came out with one in 2008, I think. That is just citrus focused, tends to work well for gins, floral spirits, herbal, like chartreuse, probably Jaeger, anything like that. You can get more of a citrus flavor from. And then you get crazy, like the coffees.
Hey,
and,
Derek.
What's up?
The chat room wants to know what's meant by aromatics. The only aromatics I know is from my biochemistry and organic chemistry classes, and I'm assuming that's not what it is.
Aromatics is because it has a huge aroma that you put into the drink, and it's really designed to give out the aroma. It'd be like dry hopping.
Okay.
Right? So if you're where you take hops and you put them in for that last stage of brew and you pull them out to get the aroma, and it, you know, you're not going for the bitterness, you're going for the aroma. Aromatics will bring the drink together, and really, you know, we've seen that in the past where you can take these different weird alcohols and it makes it taste better. And the aromatics give it that nice flavor of cloves or allspice or whatever it happens to be. So then, and I got a couple of those tips from Imbibe, like which one's the citrus, which ones are aromatics, what goes where. So herbal, think citrus, but don't stop. You can also look at like the coffee. The trick is, if you have a coffee bitter, it doesn't mean it fits in every cocktail. It might not fit in a Falernum Sour. I wouldn't think, right? A chocolate may. I don't know. We've got some chocolates here and grapefruit. Grapefruit probably would because it's got that citrus to it.
Yeah.
But not everything is going to work. And one of the examples I read is, would you pair lime and chocolate together? And people are like, nah, I never do that. It's like, well, why would you take a margarita and fill it with chocolate bitters? It's not complementary. So it's a salt and pepper thing. It's like adding spices to your meal. Not every spice is for every meal. Although there's some generals, Tony's.
Tony's.
Tony's is a good general.
That's right.
It's great and everything.
And you'll
Ice
see
cream?
And ice cream. No.
Dean
Yes.
probably would
Tony's
put
an
in
ice cream?
You can.
You can try it.
No, I don't know
Report
about
back.
that. I'm not sure if Tony's an ice cream.
I do remember
Bitters?
at one
Yes.
point.
It is.
This is what you guys are gonna do, and you're gonna make this cocktail together, one by one. It's called the Falernum Sour. It's gonna have, let's see, rum. So you guys got rum and Falernum. Can I have this rum?
Yeah.
We're gonna use
It's gonna be
Dawson's
good.
Gold, because I wanted to get something above light rum, even though the recipe kind of calls for light
Calls for
rum.
light rum, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I wanted you really go with the gold. So the Falernum syrup, which we just got into the store, I tried it and I was like, this is the best thing on earth. It's like
Citrusy, gingery.
Yeah, it's like the orza or the almond syrup, but with ginger, lime, and that almond all kind of combined together. So it kind of complements everything by
Very
making
good.
it super awesome. I haven't made this drink, so I don't know. And then
I inadvertently overpoured.
Okay.
Thanks.
And you didn't drink it.
Good call, good call. And then this is the sour mix, so I have at least an ounce of that, so you guys can work off of that. We're gonna need to double it. We got club soda as well, so it's gonna be a half ounce of Falernum, an ounce of sour mix, an ounce and a half of rum. That's your primary and only alcohol. We're going to shake and strain it. Then we're gonna fill it with club soda. We're gonna throw them in these tiny little glasses because we don't need to get crazy. There's not a lot of ingredient here.
Dude,
and
the
then
viscosity of this stuff is naughty. Just saying.
oh, of the syrup. He's going around back. Do I have my orange? I thought I brought an orange.
You were handling an orange earlier.
I was handling my. Oh, here it is. All right. So then
So I'm
what?
guessing we shake before filling the club soda,
I would yes. I would prefer you to do it.
which
That.
means we need ice. Okay.
Oh yeah, and that would be where Doug can come in. I'll just bring you the ice.
Thanks.
Boom.
Boom.
So then what I'm gonna do, since it's bitters week and this cocktail doesn't call for bitters, we're gonna make one with bitters, one without. Since Doug is gonna go with the more
You don't
classy.
have to use that one.
Thank God.
What do you think would be a good bitter? I was thinking the grapefruit, hopped grapefruit, noble hops, grapefruit. Let's see, noble hops, grapefruit. That's okay. Ooh, that's really cold.
Ice down.
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
All right, so we're gonna do, and most bitters you'll find.
Hey, Derek, council get the little pony thing out.
Monkey fucking football over there.
I've heard Jen's father say that once when we were carrying something. I didn't know that was a known phrase. I thought he made it up as it went along. What do you need help with?
I got it. I need help with everything.
All right. So we're gonna dump in there 1, 2, 3. I'm a big fan of the 3 dash number. 3 dashes. That's all you're gonna need. This is
Mr. L.
Bitterman's hopped grapefruit.
Does it take to get to the
Center of a Falernum Sour.
1, 2, 3.
That was my 7th grade science fair project. How many licks does it take to get in the center of a Tootsie Pop?
That's awesome.
It was right around 200, independent of the pH of your mouth and the flavor of lollipops.
In 1824, Angostura was born. In 2008, Angostura Orange came out. So,
Wait, 1824?
In 1824, that's when Angostura. It was 2008 when they came out with the
Are you
orange.
still alive?
No, that it took them a long time to come up with the orange bitter,
This is
And sometime in the 80s, their factory burned down, and
which
it took
caused a lot of problems.
a number of years for them to rebuild, and there was a bitter shortage.
And
I'm gonna
I,
stir that now.
Oh.
You get club soda or sit down the top.
yeah, the thing is Angostura, because they're so big, and Fee Brothers kind of came up around that like finish time.
They
Like
fill the void?
this is 1950s. Peychaud, we didn't even talk about Peychaud. That's New Orleans. Where the heck is it? It's in here someplace. I have a Peychaud bitter now.
It's not up there, I don't think. I don't see it.
I have like 10 more over there. Let's grab this one. This is Peychaud bitters. That's if you ever have had a Sazerac or
that's
wish to
right.
make a Sazerac, you'd want this. Can you work without it? Sure as heck. But this one has more of an anise. Sure as heck. I'll let him swear for this one. This one has that like fennel finish to it, so the ingredients just kind of complement the Sazerac.
What
Yeah.
bitter did you put in there?
This one has no
Light.
bitters.
Nope.
That has hopped grapefruit bitters. So
Grapefruit?
yes, it's grapefruit. This is gonna probably be a sweet drink, so I wanted to bring in the citrus, but have a little more sour. And hops kind of made it a little different. Anything?
I'm really curious. I'm
Whether-
intrigued, even.
Whether it's gonna do anything? Smells like orange. Oh, the garnish is in there.
What are you doing?
And
Trying to mix it up, like you said, Jen.
There's a spoon right there.
I put all these nice
yeah,
things.
but like when you
We have to
your
wash
finger-
it,
That's really good.
and you can lick your finger when you're done.
Falernum.
And then stick it back in.
And stick it back in. If you like the drink, you stick it back in so no one else takes it. Mine.
Wow.
Jen's done that before. It does change it a bit.
It does.
Quite
It
a
does.
bit.
This is
It
a little
really
bit
does
more,
change it.
This is
Yeah.
a little more. I want to say almost watered down.
Yeah.
That's really good with the bitters in it, though. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
And
the
even-
one with
I like-
the bitters better.
Yeah, I think I do too. I like the one without the bitters, but I like that one better.
No, but it's really drastically different. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, drastically. This tastes
I thought
watered
it
down.
would be more aroma, but that brings a lot more citrus.
It does. I think it brings out the sweetness a
Wait a
little bit
second.
too.
I don't necessarily think that we use the same amount of club soda.
I topped.
I don't think I topped.
What did you top with?
Well,
Isn't it the same glass?
yeah, but I didn't.
We use the same proportion,
Is
same
this
glass.
glass- is that-
I went up to
Yeah.
about here.
Like-
what did you stir with?
My finger.
I probably went to.
We've been there, guys.
I was
I was
Trying to
the whole
block it
time.
out of his mind.
I pointed over here, and then I went to Doug, and I turned back, and I assumed he used the.
His inner drinking child is curled up in the corner. He's like, "There's no finger in that glass. I know it." I refuse to believe. It wasn't a
Try
finger.
it now. It doesn't taste any different.
All right.
It wasn't a finger.
I added probably double from what you originally had. I'm gonna get drunk doing this though.
That's really good.
So again, 1950s Fee Brothers, 1830s was Peychaud, so that goes back. He started this company in his pharmacy in the back. So after that, he needed a
Sounds
transport.
like a pharmacist's name.
Peychaud,
Peychaud's
yeah.
Pharmacy. I
Yeah,
can see that
so
on a.
he came up with the Sazerac.
On a sign.
Yeah.
And the Sazerac was so important to that culture, everybody was ordering them, that you needed to make more of these, and then boom. And if you look now, and I know this because
Which was
I saw
Ryan
this.
So it's like
Pernod.
supply and demand
Or-
kind of brought forth for non-bitters.
Anthony? How do you say that? Antoine?
Antoine.
Antoine. So today, if you were to look at Reagan's, Gary Reagan, this is 1990s. He came out with this brand. It's Orange Bitters number 6. This is the 6th rendition. 5th was too sweet, couldn't get it certified, I think. 4th had a different flavor to it. Like he came out with different ones, and this was the one that hit market. If it's in, there's a book, a bitters book that I have for my ebook that you could actually see the history of Regan's.
6
But-
takes to get past like a government agency qualification.
well, there were
That's not too
different.
bad.
There were different. It's true. There were different balances.
Anybody who works in
between
a
them.
regulated industry can probably
Right.
vouch for that.
So it was more like this was the perfect balance because he wanted to make a better orange bitter than what was out there. I'm guessing. Let's see, in the 90s, that means this wasn't around yet. That would leave maybe Fee Brothers West Indies, which I have like 4 cases of. You think I'd have one around here? And maybe another one. Oh, Bitterman's has one called Cream Citrate, I think it is, which is really nice. And this guy is an author of a cocktail book, right? So he came out with this one. However, if you were to buy, and I know this because I buy right from the distillery, first problem with these two, they're both from Buffalo Trace or Sazerac Company, depending on what name you want to go with. And I cannot sell these outside the United States. So people outside the U.S. will have a hard time finding these because they handle it themselves. So they have places in certain countries
Yeah, like
that they've
distributors and
qualified,
stuff.
and they distribute. No, they're own their people, I think, and they distribute
okay.
just to them. So Canada, real hard to get these. You probably would have to buy them from somebody that's not me and is not a reseller that has agreed to their terms, which is you can't sell these outside of the U.S. Those are my terms. So if you go and look on our website, you'll find out that it'll say you can't buy these. I got a big red thing, but U.S. you could buy them.
But to
Sad
really describe
with
the
a
difference
Peychaud.
between the drinks, it's I think that the bitter accentuates the citrus, which brings out the sweetness a little
Yeah.
bit more
Agreed.
than what the non-bitter one.
Yes, it's they both got acidity.
Yeah.
This one's a little bit. I think it's watered down because I'm not getting the same citrus force out of it. This one has citrus with the sour.
When you go back and forth, it definitely tastes like one
Yeah.
more watered down. The
Yeah.
non-bitter is more watered
It's got more nuanced flavor, but overall you're going to get the Falernum, which is your ginger and your almond syrup, the sweetness, but you're getting the sour. So it's a sour drink. What do you think on an alcohol rating? If you had a guess between 1 and 10, I was thinking like 2. I don't even feel like there's alcohol in here.
Yeah, it tastes like a spritzer almost.
5, 7. It's all arbitrary. throw out
Yeah.
fucking numbers.
Throw out the numbers.
Three.
So,
Anyway,
there
so
you go.
bitters.
The German.
So bitters.
It's like a rug.
It ties the room together. It makes a huge difference, and here's what I challenge you to do. You don't have to make the Falernum Sour, but make a drink you like that doesn't have bitters. If you already like bitters, this is probably, you already know this. Make a drink you like. Buy, either from me, local store, if you can find them. You can usually get these in local stores. Buy one of these and pair it with that and do a side-by-side tasting. And when you see the difference, you'll probably start adding bitters to everything. Even like soda, which is not too bad either.
It's like an aromatic and tasting garnish.
I added
Right.
it to my water the other day.
Yeah, she put
Bitters in your water.
Well, I was looking at bitter cube to carry
Does
bitter
Mio
cube.
count as a bitter?
No, Mio does not count as bitter.
No.
Opposite, actually.
I know.
And no natural.
It's all chemical, yeah.
Right. So that's the first episode for Bitters Week. Falernum Sour. Hopefully, I've dumped a lot of education that you could follow through for the next 4 days as we use this stuff, and it makes more sense to you.
You know what? I learned a lot.
Question of the day, then. He learned a lot. That's the question. No,
That's the question. Did you learn a lot?
What
That was the answer.
would it, if you have had bitters, what's your favorite nuanced flavors? It chocolates, coffees, grapefruits, limes.
People
Plum.
buy grapefruits
Rhubarb.
and celery.
Sell a lot of celery bitters. Not
Really?
my favorite. Good in a Bloody Mary.
Wow.
Next episode coming up. I think we're done here.
Awesomedrinks.com.
Awesomedrinks.com. If you want to start to experience
Wow.
bitters,
Yeah.
we have some of these now in the store, smaller ones, so you don't have to. You could get a couple for the same
Oh,
price
there
as
you
you.
go. You can experiment.
Whoa!
On the cheap.
On the cheap. Well,
On
bitters
the,
are
on the
cheap.
reasonable.
On the reasonable, we're teaching you how to drink. Well, there was a light on my dash, and I was driving. I'm like, I don't know how bad that could be, right? So I'm like, I could pull over, but I don't know what that means. So I've just started going through the manual, reading the icons. Like, oh, it just means my tire pressure's low. All right.
Yeah, right. Sometimes you gotta know.
Right. I mean,
Was it
And you know what?
was the
If
light
you pull
like
over, you might not be able
was
to
the
start
light
again.
like a
I'm not gonna
tire?
die.
No,
No,
the
it wasn't.
TPS sensor is like a really weird indicator.
It is a weird
It's like,
indicator.
what the fuck
It's
is
like
that?
a wrench
Oh,
backwards.
tire
like-
pressure.
yeah, it's got like these
Yeah.
gears under it, and then
Why the fuck is a TPS report on my car?
And why is there only one?
Shit.
We need that in triplicate.
right.